Hey, welcome. Today we're going to talk about a huge mindset shift, how to stop being a spectator in your own life and start being a player. It's all about seeing the signs for what they are and, actually having the guts to do something about it. Let's dive in.
So picture this. You've got two guys, Beto and Alfredo. A woman smiles at Beto, right? She playfully touches his arm, even asks him to compare hand sizes. Beto just thinks, she's kind of weird. But years later, it finally clicks. Now, Alfredo. Same situation. He sees those exact same signs, but he knows what's up. He sees an open invitation. He asks her out. See, for a player like Alfredo, when the ball is right there in front of the goal, you take the shot. And Alfredo, he scores. And that right there is the heart of the problem. For every one Alfredo out there, there are probably 100 Betos, just haunted by the ghost of a chance they didn't take. And this isn't just about missing a date. No. This is about a deep regret that sticks with you. In the shower, on your commute, in those quiet moments right before you fall asleep. Okay, so this whole situation brings up a huge question, right? It's like this unwritten rule that just causes so much confusion. Who's actually supposed to get the ball rolling here? A lot of guys, maybe you, have had this thought, man, if only women were more direct. Or if she really likes me, why doesn't she just come out and say it? And look, I get it. It's a tempting way to think, but according to the source material we're looking at, it means you're completely missing the point of the game. So here's the absolute key. The dynamic isn't about one person doing all the work, not at all. It's about roles. Her role is to create the opportunity, to give you the signal, to crack the door open. Your role as the man is to be the active force. You gotta recognize that open door and have the courage to walk right through it. Think about it. A fisherman doesn't just sit there and wait for the fish to jump into his boat, right? And our source puts it about as bluntly as you possibly can. Sure, it can happen, but it's the exception, not the rule. And if you're banking on being the exception, well, that's a losing strategy. The responsibility for making that first move, for taking that step, that falls on the man. All right, so if you're the one who's supposed to act, what exactly are you acting on? Let's break down the first batch of signs. But you have to remember this. These are not some mathematical proof of her interest. They are opportunities. They're invitations. Now, what is so fascinating here is the main idea. It's not how she looks at you that matters. It's that she's looking at you in the first place. A confident woman, she might hold your gaze, give you a little smile. That's a green light. A shy woman, she might look over, and the second you catch her, she nervously looks away, maybe plays with her hair. Guess what? That is also a green light. The common thread is that her attention is on you. Your job is to just respond warmly, not get bogged down in analyzing the details. Next up, let's talk about physical contact, because it usually follows this pretty clear pattern. It can start out super subtle, just her leaning in a bit closer when you're talking. Then it might move to those accidental touches, a playful punch on your arm, messing with your sleeve. But the final level, that's the direct intentional stuff. When she asks to compare hand sizes and actually laces her fingers with yours, man, that is one of the clearest signals in the entire playbook. Okay, this one is maybe one of the most reliable signs, but it's one that guys misread all the time. Pay attention to her friends. Seriously, women talk. If she's into you, her friends 100% know about it. So when you walk past and they all start to giggle or they tease her a little bit, they are not laughing at you. They're reacting to the situation. They're basically your allies, confirming her interest for you without her having to say a thing. Okay, so let's see how this all builds. We're shifting gears now from that subconscious body language to more conscious, more planned out moves. These are the calculated opportunities she creates specifically for you to act on. Listen, when a woman tries to separate you from the group, even for just a second, that is a massive signal. Her asking you for help with something simple that's like 2 feet away, it's not about her needing help. It's about creating a moment of privacy. She's building a little space where it's just the two of you, making it that much easier for you to make a move. This is a classic for a reason, and it brilliantly shows that calculated mindset. When she asks to borrow your jacket, it is a test of your kindness, for sure, but it's so much more than that. It's a strategic move. She has just created a guaranteed reason to have a second interaction with you. Because, hey, she's gonna have to return it later, right? And in the digital world, the signs are just as obvious. It all comes down to one single word: effort. If you're the one doing all the heavy lifting, always texting first, just to get back one-word answers, the interest is low.
But if she's matching your energy, if she's sending long replies, using emojis, asking you questions, the interest is high. Her effort is the signal. This soccer analogy from the source material just perfectly wraps up everything we've been talking about. She sets up the play. She passes you the ball. But it's up to you to take the shot. You have to be the one to score the goal. So we've gone through all these signs, and you might be thinking, awesome, I've got a checklist now. But the source is really clear on this, and this is where most people get it twisted. The problem is not a lack of information. Let's be real for a minute. Even without this list, you've had those moments. Moments where you felt something was there, where you saw one of these signs. So if knowing the signs isn't the problem, what is? What's the real wall standing between you seeing the opportunity and actually doing something about it? It's these. The real enemy is that voice inside your own head, these self-sabotaging thoughts. Nah, she couldn't possibly be into me. I'm not good-looking enough. I need to have my whole life figured out before I can approach someone. This lack of confidence, these limiting beliefs, those are the walls. It was never about a lack of signs. So how in the world do we get past this? The source suggests we need to completely reframe how we think about success and failure. Because it's not about whether or not you get the date. It's about something way, way deeper. And this, right here, is the bottom line. Let's say you take a shot, you do it respectfully, and she says no. Okay? Your ego might be a little bruised for a few minutes, maybe even a day, but the pain of not even trying, of letting that moment slip by and then spending years wondering what if, that is a much, much heavier weight to carry. This might be the most powerful sentence in this entire explainer. Misreading a signal and getting rejected? That's an honest mistake. You can forgive yourself for that. It was a brave attempt. But letting fear win, choosing to do nothing because you were scared, that's the kind of choice that leads to the absolute deepest regrets. You will never forgive yourself for being a coward. So the next time you see a sign, that lingering look, that playful touch, that excuse to be alone with you, the question isn't, is this 100% guarantee she's into me? The real question is, what are you going to choose? Are you going to let the moment pass you by and join Beto in that shower of regret? Or are you going to choose to have the right attitude and, like Alfredo, just take the shot? The choice, my friend, is always yours.